Once again, Aloha Pa, it's the same day. Actually, it is 26, time is 12 o'clock in the midnight. I had time sometimes to look at some of the comments you guys make. One of them was about spiritual detachment on the channel. If you go on the YouTube channel, the video number 56, episode 56, it talks about the spiritual detachment. In general, man was sincere in what he was saying, and I know the sincerity right away. Made me to revisit the subject as what the spiritual detachment is, because his question is basically that we'll talk about detachment, but we don't say what it is that we have to be detached from. Well, in a countless statements and segments and sentences and the places and the paragraphs, Baha'u'llah, Abdu'l has explained in many ways what this spiritual detachment is. But yet it seems the matter is obscure, because the way we have brought up in the Euclidean mathematics, everything has to be put down and line up 1 to 20. What are the things we have to be detached from? So I haven't heard what I've said before. I didn't have time to do that. But I read the comment, and I'm going to revisit the subject. You hear this word detachment a lot in the Baha'i Faith, especially in the mystic writings, that one has to be detached from material desires, from material life and all that. Let me tell you at the very outset, detachment does not make a person spiritual. Detachment, even at the spiritual level, is not a license that you got there. No. It's only a preparation to get there. And the spiritual detachment, Baha'u'llah, on the very first paragraph of the Book of Certitude, at the very end, actually in the whole paragraph, that he recognizes four channels. He says we have to be detached from what we see as to be the truth, what we heard to be the truth, what we felt. Oh, this must be true. Baha'u'llah says get rid of it. And from what we thought, this might be true. Baha'u'llah says what you think, what you feel, what you see, what you hear, 4 channels, cleanse it. He says, unless and until you do this, you will never be able to recognize the manifestation of God, which is recognition is still the very beginning, the very first step towards going to reach to this spiritual power. So being detached from every other thing is simply to be free, to be able to go. It's like there's a lot of file on your computer. Computer does not have the speed. So what do we say? Get rid of it. Why? Because we want you to go to speed more. Detachment is to create a stamina for us to go. But it's not even the going. It's not the reaching. It's not becoming. It's just the means. The other things about this detachment, I have to say, is that 100% detachment, whatever Baha'u'llah meant, is not possible. No one can get there. It's like Einstein says E equal to mc squared 2, but never ever 100% matter can get converted to the energy. Shoghi Effendi says there's always a dross, D-R-O-S-S. A rust, a dross, he says, between us and the manifestation of God, a dross on the mirror. We cannot definitely manifest God the way He does. So the word detachment is as simple as, if you have 50% you achieved about what detachment is, that Baha'u'llah says, you're already a Baha'i. If you attach 75%, I would personally call you a super soul. Like a Superman, you will be a super soul. If you can go to 75% to be detached from the debris that's holding you off, you know. But if you go over that, you reach your 90%. You are the Holy One. You are the Holy One at the level of 90%. So don't try to push yourself, hey guys, this list is so big, it's impossible for me to get through it all. No, just 50% is a pass mark, just like a school. God is the same way. Okay. 50% if you're okay, we become Baha'i. If we get 75%, we become very hard. So I'm going to study this, revisit this matter of detachment through three different ways. We have to be detached from things that are harmful to us. The other subsection is that we have to be detached from things that are useless to us. The harmful things I've said, there are three things. They could be metaphysicals. There are a lot of metaphysical things. I'm not saying it's spiritual, but it's non-tangible, that we have to be detached from it. The biggest one of all, that if you get detached from that damn things, you probably have done a very past the 50%. Just one single big one. You ask me, what are the things? It's from your opinion. Be detached from your opinion. You are not your opinion. Your opinion should change. If it is not changing, you're not moving. You're stagnated. What you think of God and the truth this year, next year you have to improve on that. This is where the problem is. People are willing to let go of money to save their lives. But they don't let go of their opinion. They die for it. Even if it is wrong. Myself, I'm the elder of Baha'u'llah. If I'm caught by some criminals, they tell me that, Tony, we're going to kill you, or you have to give all your money to us. I will engage in and say, okay, these guys are serious. I'm going to have to give everything I have to be alive. Do I want it or not? I better be alive because I might be able to get all this money back. So I will let go. But they tell me that you should say you're not a Baha'i. I would not. You're not an elder. I would not. If they recant Baha'u'llah, I will say I'm not. I cannot do that. And so many others. This is not so much about the truth. No, it's about the attachment to the damn things. Even as a Baha'i, we should not be attached to our opinion. Especially when you're coming across another person sitting in front of you. The moment he disagrees with you, right there you have to know that, uh-oh, there are two opinions, therefore somebody is wrong. And it could not be that he's 100% wrong and you're 100% right. It's bad news when you hear it. Oh, somebody else said that I'm wrong. Then I might be, you see. All these Muslims from any part of the world, so many of them have seen, for the matter of the belief and idea, they actually and they go die. This is why Baha'u'llah says, do not say I believe. When you say belief, that means you have seen something through some illogical, crazy way that you think this is the right way. And there's no way to get you out of there. You know. But Baha'u'llah says what? He says, don't say I believe you, Baha'u'llah. Say I recognize you, Baha'u'llah. That means go towards him with a reason. With logic, with science. Isn't it the first thing he says in the Kitab Aqdas? The first things prescribed unto man is the recognition, he says. To recognize. Because if you recognize something with a reason, we can reason you out of it. But if you say, no, I had a dream, a vision that told me this and that, now we don't know how you were lost. Chances are, many of you, if you're strong enough, you will die for your opinions. This is the number one things that we have to be detached. I have worked in my life from age 18 right now to 56, about 35 years I've been Baha'i. I've been eating Baha'i Faith, I've been smelling Baha'i Faith, I've been shitting Baha'i Faith. Every time I've been Baha'i Faith, I can't stop it. Imagine everything that I know right now. I'm elder of God. Some guy comes off the door and he proves that I'm wrong. I will pay him $10,000. Good, I said. You emancipate me. Some guy from US says that, what things you're saying, you're not allowed to say these things. You're wrong. I told him, brother, I give you $10,000. Prove me I'm wrong. It's not very nice where I am. But it is the truth. It's logical. It's where I have to be. I have brain, you see. I am here based on my GPS, based on my calculations. Brought me here. If you think that I'm wrong, bring it over. I will accept it. Even if it is that my belief about the very God is wrong, even if I'm misled that Baha'u'llah is actually the manifestation of God, if it is that I'm not an elder, anything, put it down. Everything is on the table, brother. You have to be detached from your goddamn opinion. You are made by God. You have objected creation of God. But your opinion is made by you. It's your own creation. I will kick it. See? This is the problem. Clashes of opinion, the truth will sparkle out. That's Abdu'l says. Not clashes of characters. Very, very important. So, this is number one. You want to know more? Metaphysical? Be detached from jealousy, from cruelty, from judging, from so many things that you know. It's metaphysicals. They're bad things. So that's one part. It's totally harmful to us. You know. Then there's a social aspect. There's a lot of things that are social that we have to be detached from it. What's the sign of it? Others don't like that. You know, you're coughing, your foot smells, you're impolite, you're rude, you're belligerent. There's so many things, people are objecting at you. You're imposing yourself in the discussion. You want to rule. Everybody is annoyed. You have a dominating attitude. These are all the social aspect of the detachment. What people are complaining from you. Hear it sincerely. Sometimes there's no solution to it. You for sure know, okay, who you are is right, but this person doesn't like you. Baha'u'llah says, stay away from him. Because if you stay from this guy who doesn't like you, but at the same time you can't change, then you might start to hate him. Or he hates you. Baha'u'llah says, detach, stay away from it. Till you guys find a solution. And then there are purely, the third part of this detachment, there are purely material, tangible things. Such as the smoking, such as drinking. Balance is the formula of Buddha, God knows, 6,000 years ago. We have to have a balance in our eating, in our talking, in everything we have. It seems the sign of something is bad when it goes out of balance. See? Balance doesn't mean that everything we have to be moderate. You can't say, okay, I have to kill people too, I have to be moderate. No. To hate is no moderation in it. It should not. Any bad thing, there's no moderation in it. You should just stay away from it. But there are things that are neither bad nor good, you know. We have to be moderate. Food is good, but we have to be moderate, not to eat too much. I'm guilty. There are other things that are totally bad, like smoking, things that harms your body. You have to understand, you are a part of the society, of the whole, of the collective. But if you harm yourself, you will harm the people around you, your mother, your sister, your brother, your fellow countrymen, your government. You smoke too much, you become sick, then you have to go, government have to take care of you in a hospital, have to pay for you. You're imposing yourself on the society. There's a lot of things. You know. Baha'i Faith, or the spiritual path, is not made in such a way that what I say is definitely good for you. Because if that's the case, it will bring laziness. It's not a Euclidean way. In a Euclidean way, we know how this refrigerator is made, how this camera is made, it's written a million times. People follow that, they will get the same result when camera is made. But living your life, you are going on an unpaved road. Or in a paved road, but untrodden. You've not traveled these roads. Even though we are driving on the same highway, but I'm in my own car, you're on your own car. Where I go on the side of the road, there might be ice, your side might be wet, the other side might be having other debris on the asphalt. The life is like driving a car. You have to know how to drive, but they tell you exactly what you have to do at every point. That doesn't exist. That's plagiarism. God doesn't allow it. You have to do your own way. You have to learn. When the road turns, when you have to stop, when you have to accelerate. You cannot copy me. You can't copy nobody. Nobody can copy anybody. We're not Borg ship. Every one of us made is different. Therefore, every one of us has his own car, our own body, and we have to drive it to the destinations. Even when we reach the destination, there are millions of chairs. Everybody has a number to sit on their chairs. You can't sit on somebody else's chairs, plagiarism. These things I'm saying to you, sir, is so what I think. But it needs a lot of more, contemplations. All I can tell you is this. What you know, or what you think you know, is not the truth. It's a relative truth. It's good for you. Is it really? Share it with others. Be brave. They might criticize the hell out of you. I'm talking to a friend of mine. Last night, he brought a circle after I talked to him a lot. He says, finally I found the affirmation makes the emotion. And the emotion makes the actions. I said, what are you talking about? Emotion creates the actions. There are a lot of other things in us that creates the actions. I saw that is convoluting. Because at the age 55, he all of a sudden started to think, he can find the truth. It's impossible. I've worked 35 years on it, as I told you, day and night. So, it's okay though. Share your opinion with others. This is what they say. Don't dismiss them. Don't try to convert them. See what they say. You might get converted yourself. Tell them, okay, you said A, B, C, D. Let's see. I don't have an answer for you tonight. I'm going to think. Go think, okay, said, all right, thank you very much for what you said, but I found out your point A is irrelevant because of following, B is this, number C was okay, you're right there. So that's how we can learn, by asking other people how they've done it. Keep asking the addresses. But don't make up things in your head that, oh, I found the truth, I'm going to sit down here and convert everyone. That's dogmatism. And dogmatism is a failure, even if you're a Baha'i, even if you're an elder of God. Okay? It's not going to work. Everything that I say right now, at one point of time in this universe, it will become sheer stupidity. But it is true right now to me. I can't find anything other in any other ways right now. All right. So far we understood, to be detached, even at a spiritual level, you're not a spiritual. You're already getting ready. This is some of the formula that makes you ready. Provisions, you see. Secondly, there's no 100% detachment, spiritual detachment. No. The detachment, I put harmful things. They could be metaphysical and spiritual, metaphysical, intangibles, or they could be social, related to other people, and they could be purely physical. So you want to know how to be detached? Study those things. And the formula is moderation in the things that are not harmful. And then the second category is the useless thing. There's a lot of useless thing that is time wasting. So you're in your car, you're trying to go somewhere, an hour, take 3 hours because you stop at every place to have a coffee or look at this or look at that. So you wasted a lot of time. You know, they're useless things, like playing these computer games. I understand when you were a kid, you played these things that, you know, give you some mechanical power, you know, your hand, your finger, now you can be a better typist and whatnot. But you're 50 and you're still going and playing with this. What do we get out of this? You want to die as soon as possible because you found there's nothing else to do here. Wasting, a lot of wasting time that has no benefit to you and to others, but you got addicted to it. You have to get rid of it, because useless things, if you keep doing it, you get addicted to it. So is there, you know, harmful things. If you do it, you get addicted to it. Like playing computer game, for example. There's lots of other things, you know. Even if you walk in the park, I can say, okay, you're walking, you're gaining some energy in your power or something, but you're sitting and just playing this game. Even watching a movie sometimes might give you some idea. Nowadays, many movies are stupid, but some of them are not bad, like Gladiator, like The Last Samurai. I don't know, I've seen many of them myself. But many other one of them are just absolutely totally useless. So stay away from the things that are useless, which means totally, directly, it's not beneficial to your social power of interacting with people. A. B. It is totally useless for your body. Body does not gain anything by it. Okay, so that's the second thing. So harmful things and a useless thing we have to be detached from. But the issue is not going to be that easy. In these two categories of harmful and useless, we could always use scientific method, logical method, which many people are endowed with, and we could ask and inquire and therefore learn. But there are issues that we do not know what they are, but yet we have to do it, or we should not do it. In these cases, we need to understand that we have to obey the laws and ordinances of God when it comes to the matter of detachment. People ask me a lot of these questions. You know, it is right over the internet. Somebody was saying that the Baha'is aware of many strange laws in the Baha'i Faith. One of them was saying, like, the Baha'is, when they die, they have to have 9 shrouds, if possible, of silk, and they have to be buried, you know, very respectfully, put in the coffin, very respectful. So the guy says, what is the use? The body is going to, no matter what we do to it, is going to decay. Why should we waste those shrouds of silk and not giving it to the poor people? Why do we need to put the greatest name on the finger? And such as this. I have discussed this with you. I'm going to answer this particular one today. But I've discussed with you, I put a video recently too, controversial words in the Baha'i Faith. Remember, the writing of Baha'u'llah and ordinances of Baha'u'llah is not philosophical, is not artistic, is not scientific, is none of these things. If it could be postulated and proposed and produced by people, Baha'u'llah, God would not waste 1 second to author it. Because others, they do not know it, that's why he says it. He says, I'm divine physician, therefore my writings are prescriptions. I'm a doctor, you don't know what I'm saying sometimes. I tell you, you're sick, you have to have cefazolin. What's cefazolin? You can't even say it. It's antibiotic. You don't understand. You have to have it or you die. His writing is this. So, if you want to know really seriously what some of this thing means, you're going to have to get into it. Not just simply staying outside like a jerk, objecting on the Lord of the universe. Don't you feel stupid? Don't you feel embarrassed to object at such a being as him? The actual creator of the universe was manifested himself in the body of a man to talk to us. And you're objecting at him. You're thinking this is joke. He died on that body. He took 20,000 people to death to say wasteful things. Would that be feasible, really? Is that plausible? It's not. Very damn serious. But then you don't understand. Your little puny brain says, why did he say shroud you not wear? I tell you why. I give it an answer. Everything that Baha'u'llah says is so much answer to it. We're just at the beginning of it. I said to somebody who would ask me these questions, that why do we waste shroud? I told him, do you like dogs? He says, oh yeah, dogs. Tell him how much you like the dog. He says, oh, I like my dog. He's like a family member. He lives with us. I told him if somebody comes and says, I love your dog, I'm going to give you $1 million to buy it. Would you sell it? He says, oh yeah, $1 million, yeah. I can always get another dog like that. I will sell him. I would be amazed why you would pay me $1 million. I told him that. He says, $1 million. Give me, this dog of yours. You give it to him. He says, okay, could you just watch me here? He takes a knife and he goes right at the dog and he wants to just cut the head of the dog. What do you do? He says, oh man, I want to stop him. I told him, but he says, you paid the money. I paid $1 million. This is my dog. I want to kill this dog and torture him to death. He says, no man, you're just sick. I'm not going to take it. I said, that's right, you can't. Why? Because you're attached to the dog. If it was a horse, it's the same thing. An animal. A book. I collect comics. There's one comics. So hard to get it. Okay, I got it. Now the guy says, you want it 500, I'm paying 10,000. And in front someone wants to burn it. It hurts me. Why are you doing this? He says, I just want to hurt you. I burn your comics right in front of you. I used to read those classics, illustrated comics. An Indian comics called Amar Chitrakatha. I was actually in university in India when I started reading them because it was a good way to learn about Hinduism. Simple way. Comical way. So, it is hard. We get attached to a book. We get attached to your horse, your dog. How do you think you feel about your body? That you have been using it for all your life. 70 years. It's physical, but you have an attachment to it. When you die, my friend, you are watching that body like hell. You keep typing on it. You're trying to use the body to communicate and you see it's not working. It's dead. Your soul actually cries for the body. Oh my God, if they cremate your body and burn it, your soul, even on the other side, will have to undergo psychiatric, treatment. Because it is so hard for you to see what was the throne and threshold of your box, your suit for so many years. Now they're burning it in front of you because your will set to burn it. But then there are times that there are reasons. For example, you throw your body in the fire because you were saving other people. That's different. You will not be sorry for that. No. You see, I saved another life. But for no reason. This is why Baha'u'llah says to do this burial this way. Because your soul is involved. You don't know it. I know it. That's why we don't cremate the body. Abdu'l says, let it decay slowly. Then the body is like slowly, it's like a surgery. You remove it. You imagine your tooth, you're rotten. Take it off. You could die under it, Just one reason. Therefore, there are things in the Baha'i Faith that is not logical to you. And he says, Baha'u'llah, don't do it. Do not do it. Do not then backbite. Do not lie. Do not drink. Do not do things that he says not to do it. But if you did it, don't be disappointed. There's no goddamn things that you could do that you cannot recover. This is what it is. There's a thing called repent. Retrieve. Baha'u'llah allows you to go back and fix it. God allows you. Even if you kill people, you could repent from it. Okay? It doesn't matter. But even if you are the son of Baha'u'llah, when you have made one minute, destitute, nothing, little mistakes, it will be counted. There's no way out. Negatives are negatives, they're counted. If they're decimals or they're thousands, whoever does it, it will be counted. Because you did it. It's right imprint of it is in your soul. Nobody else does it. You did that, it's there. All your negatives, all your positives adds up. If you were to be surviving and breathing when you die, you are. If not, nobody can help you. God actually doesn't do anything to you. You do it all to yourself. So, besides being detached through the logical and scientific method, we also have to lean onto the Word of God in what He says not to do. He says, don't give money when people are outside or in trouble, They're begging. Don't pay, don't do it. So many of them are outside, I've seen them. They want to get money to go buy drugs. If you really want to help somebody buy money, you have to study him. Tell him, what do you want the money for? Tell me, what's your problem? You have to know this is 100% right. Then you have to go consult with other people to see what is it that you should do that is right for this guy. Give him money or do something else. It's not easy to give. Giving could be a bad investment, people. I'm just giving, I'm sincere. No. That's not going to work. Giving is not going to make Bill Gates generous. I'll tell you that right now. I might create a lot of people. He says, I gave millions of dollars of my money and everything else, I created a vaccine for AIDS. God tells him, Mr. Gates, I put that sign there so people don't fall into the ditch, into the dungeons. You removed my sign. Now people are going to go have sex right now, more than before. And you know what's going to happen, Mr. Gates? They are going to run into a virus. This time it's airborne. It's going to kill the cities, the nations. I put that AIDS there so people stop, don't go further. That was my sign in the road. You took my sign away. You thought you were doing something good. I made that barrier so people don't go on the other side. You took it, now they're going. And then you're telling me also you give. You gave what to people? How do I judge you, Mr. Gate? You be the judge yourself. You have destroyed half the population of the earth because you create a virus for AIDS. Now, as a result, they thought it's good. They went over and over. They encountered the second one. Big one. Huge one. So you think it's good that you have money and you're going to spend money to do something right? Be very careful. This is why we need the faith of God. He tells us how to pay. He says that if you have your own house, your own property, your everything, your car, all the necessities, and now you have $100,000 over that. $19,000 of that one time. It's obligation upon you. You have to give it to the universal laws of justice, to the universal laws of guardianship. Not to somebody else, because you don't know what to do with it. They will do what they have to. It is relinquished from you. Doesn't matter what happens, you are safe in your giving. And you say, my God, why should I give my money to them? It's none of your business. God told you to do it. Let them go and drink it. Your duty is done. God told you pay the 19%, you paid, and that's it. Or you say, no, I can use my own mind, or I don't want to. See how civilized is God? God does not actually push you to pay. No. He doesn't put a gun on your head to pay. No. If you like, you pay. If you don't like, you don't pay. So, going back to this matter of detachment comes to see what are the do's and don'ts. The don'ts in the Baha'i Faith should not be done. It's right there. Synopsis from the Kitab Aqdas. Really things that we should not do. Finally, there's another point I could think today. Tomorrow, if you ask me the same topic after 2-3 months, I may come up with something new. I don't know. I'm like this. Generate the ideas when you ask questions. You type it, then the answer comes in the database. Priority. Order of priority. Prioritize. Prioritizations. This is another aspect of the detachment. There are two things. They're both bad. But order of priority tells you that you have to choose. This side is your son falling from a house that's burning on a window to save him. On the other side there is a room. There are 200 children in there. Which one you have to go first? Them, your child, I cannot absolutely tell you what you should do. But both of them are bad, not to save them. Which one to save? Order of priority. There are things that have priorities over the other things in the life. You see, there are bad things. It's not just not to do the bad things. Order of priority tells us which one has to be done first. Which one has the priority? What shouldn't I do first? Again, every mind, every brain works its own ways. When you become Baha'i in a spiritual, Abdu'l says God rules on your conscience. Use your conscience. See between the two bad things, between the two good things, which one has to be done first? So, in our course of detachment, which is nothing but preparations, nothing that we can 100%, we're not expected 100% to pass, as much as we can. In that, there are logical ways, if we could use scientific and logical, doctors are out there to tell us what's harmful. Then there's faith of God that tells us the things that we should not do. God has made it simple. But then there's order of priority. What shouldn't I do? There are two things I shouldn't do. Which one takes precedent? I'm not going to tell you order of priority because it's different from one person to another. Definitely, when I see priority in my mind that this has to be done first, the best is to consult with others. Consultation is a dynamic way to solve the problem. After all, we're all human. If you could get 3-4 other guys on your side that this is the first thing you have to do, go there, do it. After, of course, consulting with the Book of God, with science, and you see all of those are not covering this particular way. Baha'u'llah said, don't do this and don't do that, but he didn't say which one you have to and should not do first. Here you come. You have to play the games yourself. And all of this is nothing but to be prepared. So, detachment. All right. I think I was useful. When it comes to spiritual topics, it's so delicious. I like to talk, to share my mind, but I have to prevent myself not to talk too much. I hope it was useful. Allahu Akbar.